Everyone, it's nice to see you. It's nice to be seen. We are here with another fantastic sponsor, good dude, good businessman, friend, alumni member from way back, and one of the sponsors for our EP Mixer taking place in North Palm Beach, Florida on Thursday, February 16th. None other than than Bill Peeler from the Peeler Group. Bill, nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Craig. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for returning my calls and such when I harass you for sponsorship. So good looking out. Um, but I'm going to ask you just a few questions. Let everybody get to know you here. And the first one we're going to start off with is, can you tell? I guess it's not so much a question, but tell us about your company. Or anything you'd like us to know, or is there something specific you'd like to share? Just tell us about Peeler Group.
Sure. Well, I founded the company back in 1995. So I'm a bit of a dinosaur, and we started in New York State, one of the toughest markets in the world, in upstate New York, in fact. And since then, we now have offices, we're headquartered in Florida, offices in New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, and Arizona, and a few more to come that I can't mention yet, but we have a few more that are coming. Uh, we've are a executive protection provider, and we support everything surrounding that, meaning
Awesome. Yeah.
we do residential security and the like.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, well, I didn't know. I don't think I knew about Chicago or Illinois.
Yeah,
You said that, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Or you have an office. You have an office there. Yeah. So I didn't. That's good to know. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So you know, you're a EPI grad amongst many other schools, I'm sure, and other trainings, and I know you've done a lot
Mhm.
in your life, in your career. So where do you rank where do you rank networking, like, or how important is networking for either the business that you're in now, anything you've done in the past, or things that you've done while in the business? Like, how important is it for you to network, and how important is your network to you?
Well, it depends on your purview of it. In my purview is that, as long as you have the skill sets, all those other soft skills that get you, once you get into the door uh, of the industry or with an agency or what have you, as long as you have all those other skills of, you can handle a computer, you can handle Microsoft Office suite, you can handle whatever accounting software you use, and so on and so forth, and can effectively communicate. When we're talking about soft skills, really communication should become a hard skill, because apparently it's hard for folks.
It is a
So
hard skill.
yeah, but if we group them all together, network is right up there, because for us, networking is very important, for us to meet people, and then we only hire by word of mouth for the most part. Yes, you'll see advertisements and such out there from us, stating that we're hiring, but rest assured, we're reaching out to our network and saying, okay, do you know this person? Have you worked with them? What can you tell me?
Yeah, yeah. So which kind of leads me into my next question. And actually, to go back, the communication part. It's you mentioned that I was who was I talking to? I was just doing another interview the other day, and I was thinking, and they kind of came up the same way as with communication. Or the soft skills is like what sets you apart, because plenty of people can qualify in their state with a pistol, or they've gone to a driving school. And not to say that everybody has it and that the hard skills are easy, because they're not, but that's
Mm,
kind of like that's entry level, right? Like, there's a
sure.
lot of things you need to be able to do just to get the job. But then what sets you apart, and that could be what sets you apart within your team that allows you to promote to supervisor or site manager, program manager, or whatever, or what makes you sought after in your kind of in your area. Why do people call you in Florida as opposed to somebody else, or why did they say, listen, you're a guy in Florida, where else are you? Because we don't want to work with anybody else. What is that? What's that, what's that thing? It's not necessarily networking, but having a network is a good thing, as well. But uh, we were kind of leading into the next question I had for you, which was, um, you know, what do you use when what do you use networking for with your business or within the industry? Like what are your, like, you're a small business, so I know what, same as we are, but like what do you use it for, primarily, in your business?
Primarily, it's no, it's twofold, really. I mean, within my network of clients, they, we're happy to say that they recommend us to other clients. We're fortunate in that we work for mostly mid-size. There's some mid-size, but mostly very large, recognized brands that are out there. So we're fortunate in that part. So networking works for us through those channels. Uh, but most important is getting to know folks and actually having a conversation with them through recruitment, and having those conversations because, if I don't know you, literally, and not to be insulted to anybody or anybody that put a lot of work into what their hard skills and such, but literally, if they were in paper, I would have a corner in my office right now stacked with resumes.
Hmm.
So, the hard skills, like you said, they are hard, they are important, but, networking and getting folks to learn about who you are as an individual, um, and it's important. So, recruitment is the largest portion of why we would, sponsoring your events, sponsoring other events like IPSB, things of that nature.
Hmm.
We don't really garnish any work from any of that. You know,
Right. Right. Sure.
it's all about the folks in the industry trying to make their way, or the folks that want to enter the industry.
Hmm. Yeah. It's yeah, the old adage, and I think I said this the other day too. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's like, well, there's kind of that, right? But then it's not who you know, it's who knows you, and how do they know you? And so, and I think kind of what you just said is like letting people get to know you. If you're, especially if you're looking to get, break into the business, or you're early on, or even late as time goes on, it's like you're known as an agent, you're a protector, you're out in the field, you're doing things, but maybe you want to progress and you want to go to the next level, as far as in a corporate structure of like, I want to promote, I want to be, I want to be a manager, I want to be, a director, and on and on. So those other people that are within that structure need to know you. Yeah, you find, them, you work for them or whatever, but they need to get to know you at, on a personal level, and know that, and know more of you, as opposed to you just knowing who they are. So
And if I were to encapsulate that in one term, in one statement, it allows us to see your depth,
mm,
uh, because
good
uh,
word.
I would use the analogy. It's like, if you're uh, cliff diving and you never cliff dive there before,
Hmm.
you know, are you just going to jump off the cliff and trust that the depth is there for you,
Right. Yeah.
or are you going to actually check the depth?
Yeah.
And I think that we like to check the depth before we take the plunge.
Yeah. Because it's a commitment, and you're also printing your name across that person,
Mhm.
and really that becomes your representative, and so like it's a tough thing to do, and so yeah, taking all the appropriate steps is kind of, it has to be. So would you mind, is there anything that you could share, top of your head, or something that sticks out to you as a success story, whether it's around networking, or you were able to hire somebody or put somebody else here or get something covered or anything like that?
I think that, if I think about that, I think that our biggest success stories is, our motto is, supporting your safety, security, and success. So I think that our greatest accolade would be the folks that we've helped over the years. I mean, you're talking a long time. Yes, we've been in business since 95, but I've been in the industry working in and around the industry for over 30 some years. So it, all over those years, there's been so many people that have, found themselves. And, it's not just us. They had a big part in it. Of course, the majority of their success is based on their own abilities and what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, we've had folks that have left our employment and gone for federal employment, started their own agencies, a number of different things that have occurred over the years. So I think that's the greatest thing, is seeing those people, increase their value, and just basically be happy with what they're doing. And, being able to support their families or themselves and be successful. We see it frequently because we have an embedded program like many companies do. So, with our embedding program, clients can bring people in and make them internal employees. So we get to see it a little bit more frequently than, others that do not embed.
Hmm.
Um, and that's great to see. It's great to see. And then, one of the greatest things that I think one of the greatest things a client has ever told me is probably a couple of years ago. And that was, you have, what was his words? You have mad skills at picking talent.
That is nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
And so there's that part of it, but then also, like, there's a little bit of having Bill pat himself on the back in a good way, and I say that because you're not going to do it. But it's not that it shouldn't be recognized that that you are hiring people like that, and that they also want to be there. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not, you're there's something to be said for good leadership, Bill. So, like, so good on you for that. I think that all kind of ties together. So that's
And it
something
really is. It really is. I mean, at the end of the day, they had the foundation. We
Mhm.
engaged them, and so our role in that statement that client made is very small. You know, um, we just recognized it. We have the ability to recognize it. It was
Right.
all up to the individual. How they present themselves, and we've had failures. And
Mhm. Sure. Yeah.
it's like, I have a person I'm counseling that works for us right now, and it's I want him to be successful, but you got to take to the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Right. Yeah. All day long, man. All day long. So, well, that's cool. And that is great. And so it sounds a little bit like, not so much pay it forward, but like, you're here to serve. It sounds like you're serving the industry as well by bringing in good people, uh, allowing them to flourish, and then seeing them either go on to something that they want to do that's different, or that's yeah, I guess probably just different than what they're doing, or that they stay put, and then you just have good employees that you can count on, and that's a good thing too. So with all that, and knowing that you're sponsoring and you have all this wisdom and knowledge that you're able to share, and it seems that you're willing to spread, are you coming? Are you actually going to be on site at the event next Thursday?
That's my full anticipation is
Right.
being there. Uh,
Yeah, I get
so,
that. I know what you mean. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to be there. I think we'll have a couple of our other people that will be there as well that have registered, and I'm looking forward to it. And we put up on our website recommendations, not just for this, but for any time you're networking, how to prepare and do those sorts of things. And I think you
Good.
plugged that before with your networks, and that's
Hmm.
great.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing. I'm a low key guy. I'm not the type of person that's going to go out of my way to come say hi to you.
You're
Uh,
right.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Folks will say I'm very extroverted, but I'm very introverted.
Hmm.
Uh, and I've had people that have kind of blew a chance with me because they looked right over me and started talking to someone else. And maybe
Hmm.
it's my ego or arrogance. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But get ready for it. Be
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah.
It's like, know who's going to be in that room and start understanding who they are, what they're
Hmm.
looking for, and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Do a
Yeah.
background on them.
Yeah. Sure. No, for sure. And, just hanging out, and I don't, and I guess I use that term loosely, but spending time, like I've spent so much time on LinkedIn. It's unbelievable because I mean, well, for one, I'm not in a haven of executive protection, right? Like I'm up in Northeast Ohio. And so, it's not, I mean, not like it's not here, but it's just not, it's not LA, it's not the Bay, or even Miami, Florida, or, any of Florida from what it seems like. But I just spend so much time on LinkedIn, and so I see people, and if I don't know who they are, and it's like, and not, a lot of times I don't, just because it's so broad. Um, there are like one, there's talent there, but then also there's the leaders that are there, and you see, every so often, people from just all the companies that you've heard of, and even the ones that you haven't, they're there. And so knowing who is who within the industry, not for adulation or anything, but just like knowing, I mean, you almost be better served to know who the recruiters are if you're looking for work, right? So that when they show up, can recognize that's who that is, or somebody who owns a company that's been in business since 95. It'd probably good to recognize those faces, and not that you care, but for them, especially if they're early on, or they're looking to move, or they're moving to Florida, or they're looking for a mentor, whatever. It's just good to know those people that have the experience. So
Well, we're looking for people globally, worldwide, honestly. And, whether, if you have an agency or if not, we might be able to place you in employment with one of our clients that
sure.
still helps us or what have you.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not a broker, don't really care for brokers.
Mhm.
Uh, but having said all that, I will share this quick story with you
Please.
that, truthfully, it goes against the grain of what we're speaking about, but I'm not a big fan of folks on social network.
Mhm.
Because that's their detriment usually.
Mhm.
Uh, all A personalities, they want to, everybody has a say in everything. And being wrong is not a bad thing as long as you learn from it.
Right.
But having said that, some of my best performers have no social network presence, or they're limited to one social network that's professional and what have you. Having said all that, there was a opportunity that a lot of people missed out on because they didn't know who they were talking to. There was a
Mhm.
posting on social network, and I'm acquainted with the person at the time saying, hey, we're looking for a new provider in Florida. And long story short is I followed the direction and emailed him,
Mhm.
didn't message him, didn't,
Didn't comment, "Hey, love to hear about the role."
yeah, nothing like that.
Right.
Did directly what we were supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
But I continue watching the comments, and the people are like, why is everybody kissing this guy's butt? Who is this guy? Who cares? It's like da 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 da. They
Mhm.
had no clue who this man was. And it was like, and he was a senior director with one of the largest corporations in the world.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It got us a long-term contract.
Yeah. That sounds like a success story, Bill.
Yeah, you think, it's like, but
Yeah.
that the reason I share that is again, know who's who, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's important.
just be, just because I'm out here going, hey, look at Bill, you know, I'm great. Watch my ninja moves.
Yeah.
Uh, doesn't mean I'm going to get you employment or I'm going to help you be successful.
Right.
9 times out of 10, if people are doing that, and I'm
Mhm.
sorry to say this,
Mhm.
but 9 times out of 10, people are looking to fill their pockets.
Yeah.
So don't fall for the smoke and mirrors.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's all
Bill,
I
I'd
wanted
love to
to.
see you do some ninja moves. I got to be honest. I think that'd be cool.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Cool. Well, anyway, hey man, listen, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah,
Thanks for dealing with my technical failure earlier,
that's okay.
of my computer crashing. So anyway, but yeah, thanks for sponsoring too. I really appreciate you doing that. I'm excited to have you as part of it. I'm glad to have a representative of Florida there as well. And so if nothing else, I'll see you in North Palm Beach in just under a week.
Fantastic. I look forward to seeing everybody.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks. See you.